Welcome everyone to more Linux here, live on our channels. Of course, our release thing, data already processed, updates in the morning, rsync, a little bit rsync, what did it say? Okay, we can actually rsync that, and then we have some stuff still to fix, because of course we have, that's all live. 3.2.4 was that? Or is today the 16th? So. News, what do we have here of rsync? New form of arc protection. Long-standing bug preventing rsync from figuring out the current location of the decimal point character, which made rsync always output numbers using clocale. What the heck? Oh, setlib memory corruption was in the bundled, bundles. This is probably, we hopefully don't use it. Maybe we should actually check that. Here, so quite some bug fixes, some enhancements, the usual software stuff, and of course, thanks to data we have already. So, fixes. So, one thing we theoretically would want to tackle, I guess, we can check two things. One thing, so AVR32, I think was base, UC Lipatomic here. I think there was a reason why we didn't build that for AVR32. Let's check that. I have the feeling this old GCC didn't include that. Most likely. And the other thing is, of course, much more important. Maybe I should still ask. I probably should try to get some big vendors here as sponsors, like IBM for Power and AMD for Ryzen or something, because obviously we need more processing power. Okay, this didn't build. Yeah, okay, Lipatomic, that was not there yet. Just as I remembered, because that is the issue, because libUSB doesn't build. We could check, there is some atomic sources. There is a tiny little newer version, I think, that had, however, back in the day, like over a decade ago, I actually updated that and it broke some stuff, maybe miscompiled stuff. So actually we have this older GCC because it was more stable. The question is, there's so much random crap though. Oh no, here is, okay, 422 atmel. 422 atmel. Why do we have this twice? Revert broken. Usilipsy stuff. 422 atmel. Okay, that is older. I guess we don't need to have all this stuff here in Ninja. Actually, maybe I misremembered. So actually, I guess initially we had 404, but that's even older. So much to reverting that probably is the latest version. We could check if that the mirror, that probably. And welcome everyone. Kernel makes multi-core. What I always wondered, what part of kernel makes multi-core, and what exactly do you mean with that? Have it hard to pass that question. You mean what support? Actually, I did this stupidly. Do you mean what stuff does SMP or where? Let's just see. So although I remember the newer version was a little bit more broken, I don't think we will revert to the older. Probably development tools, GCC, 422 native, so that probably is already okay. There's probably nothing newer than that until we could actually quickly fact check that. Even I don't know which GCC version added Lipatomic. Okay, fine, whatever. If Google can't answer that quickly to us. So then I guess the only thing is to either patch that away or use an older libusb overlay for AVR. Well, it's crazy that libusb needs Lipatomic for something apparently. Of course that fails with list. I saw that already. That was some include of standard atomic age. How did I do that the last time? I guess hot plug. I guess we could revert that and see when it starts building. Actually, I should better document what I've done the last time. Also, maybe it just built the last time. Actually, wait a second, which? We have libusb and libusb compared, right? So probably. Oh wow, there was an update recently. Wow. Maybe that broke it. Didn't even expect that. Actually, here is. No. Okay, let's first try to down there. Actually, let's. Do that so and see. Alright, this will also rebuild that. We need to. I guess we could do that tricky. We don't have some. What's that operator called? Tertiary operator. See. Yeah, just when you look for something. Ternary conditional. I wish sometimes we had that in shell. Although I think we probably could work around that with some trick. This is just to let's see, we have here some AVR or SDE config. Like if we misuse that, so if this is defined, then yeah, and what was the opposite? Was it plus? No. And here, somewhere, if parameters unset or null, unset or null. Okay, this unset or null expansion rate is assigned to the parameter null. The expansion rate or method is written to the standard error. What the heck? In null or unset, nothing is substituted. Otherwise, the expansion of word is substituted. How is it different from otherwise the value of parameter? Okay, null or null or nothing. Wait, if parameter is null or nothing, okay. We would need some version that doesn't exist there, I think. I would want the standard error and the shell. If it is not interactive, exits otherwise. If it is not interactive. Okay, fine. Makes no sense to spend our time in optimizing that. What did we want to do? We wanted to test libusb. Yeah, this is the stuff I'm slightly wondering with stuff like Alpha or Tanium. But if they break this upstream too much, we can always continue to use the last working GCC version. Has it even freaking built? So they just added this the very latest version. That is crazy. I was already wondering because I thought it was building last month. SVNCP. Oops, Z revision to architecture AVR. This is basically overlaying that and locking that version. Of course, we could theoretically implement Lipatomic, but I rather write the microkernels in. I hope this conf should. I hope it does. Does it? I would hope it does use the conf from the. Let's see. I thought we implemented and support partial overlays. Was it 1 or 2? Probably 2. Yeah, the more dependencies, the more they break stuff, of course. So running, configure something, what do we have here? Yeah, reading package config, there it is. Okay, so that works. Apparently we could check what is in that. But I guess if native and udev, okay, disable udev include logs. Yeah, disable unrecognized, disable debug, something. Disable, where is udev? Whatever. It works though. So commit architecture AVR32. Alright, this was two things. Package GCC. Removed. GCC overlay. And use previous version for AVR32. Lipatomic. Is it standard? Standard atomic or so? Dependency. I think we had more stuff here, like alright, PowerPC. Also that doesn't fully. What do I have here? Alright, this is also nonsense what I do here. fixed PowerPC 64LE. With previous. Oh man. My typing today. Previous bin. PowerPC 64LE with previous pinwidgets overlay downgrade so to whatever. I wonder if they have a PowerPCLinux Big Indian also, a Little Indian. Indian system call. Do they still have that? Whatever the name of that was. If you Google so obscure stuff that even Google doesn't know. What was the name of that? I mean, they could have removed it by now. I think they wanted to maybe remove that. Yeah. What was the name of that? There was even example code for that. Yeah, maybe I check this later. So the most important thing should be let's build. Do we still build that? Maybe not. Let's continue building AVR32 for test and see what builds there now. And what other stuff do we have? Oh, quite some random. Okay, nothing too major. All right. What was that? All right, this was a simplification. By also adding run make. Oops. Run make conditional and use it to simplify. That makes it, previously we set make and make opts empty, but sometimes you still would want to use it for other stuff, so that is why actually it makes sense to have, similar to all the other run, all the other stuff there too. It should have been so for decades, but yeah. What was this bloody system call? Darn, I should have made more of a note. This was somewhere on SourceForge of all. Was that one here? PowerPC, yada yada. A patch set enabling you to take advantage of that feature. Or is it? Oh, wasn't that support for a little? Wait a second. 2010. Patch set combination. Patches toolchain support. Support 32-bit PowerPC for now, 44X VSO. I have not touched remaining device. Yada yada. Okay, this is also not what I was looking for. Hello, can we have this thread? No. Yeah. Yeah, whatever, I guess. We have other stuff, so also async. What? Okay. This was also previously building. Also, wait a second. We probably should check whether that is a generic cross-compile failure now. Here, wait a second, we have a proper syscall there. Switch Indian, there we found it. Finally freaking switch. I wonder if that is still there though. And I found an example test code for that some year ago. I'll make that traceable. Wow, they even make that traceable. What did I Google? What is that here? Is that 2015? Switch in is a syscall number, which is handled explicitly. 64 system call entry problem. Something. Wait, they added a new one? We currently have a special syscall. This is syscall number. There's a few problems. Firstly, syscall number is outside of the usual range, which confuses various tools. For example, strace doesn't handling explicitly special case. You freaking kidding me? By calling and then executing some code. Here's even, okay, they have. Is that in tools testing self-test? There is that. Anyway, okay, so we have that. I mean, it's interesting that they even, I mean, I read discussions about removing that, and now it looks like they even made it a little bit now. Well, 2015, yeah. Okay, fine. Okay, that still builds. Then that is a I thought it, yeah, okay, it's not important for today. We can always selectively, it's not like a library. With dependencies, we can always revert that to whatever if we need that. So, Arsing, where were we? Oh yeah, actually I should have actually built that IVR. There. So yeah, so far so good. Right, so the last, really, is it the last? It's a big issue. Everything else probably is minor, hopefully. So yeah, famous last words, and then one week later, one week and 7 live streams later. Cheers. Minor issues. So we have, okay, Firefox, Mesa. So yeah, WebKit, that was this the generic thing? What is it? LVM. Yeah, so this Musel is also a little bit annoying. Actually, maybe I should debug that though later. Oh, no space. Wait a second. WebKit, but why did we mention? So much for building in TempFS. So the last really big thing is PowerPC64 Mesa. That is a really strange one. We looked briefly into that yesterday, and it was in like 5 minutes. I didn't really have a clue what's freaking going on there. Maybe something of ABI version, who knows. We have already bin utils downdated. So we probably need to debug that for real. Sorry. What is, by the way, it was Raptor Engineering also, right? Computing. Raptor. Carlos PowerPC. Do we find here something? Only vintage stuff. It's too expensive anyway. Thank you very much. PowerPC IBM. They certainly should have servers, shouldn't they? That is what, MCM 603 rare processor? You had me at rare processor. That is crazy. I have something like that in the IBM B50, right? This is crazy. That is even probably the thumbnail of this video, and the people want €250. That is so crazy. People are out of their mind. Actually, I wanted, like, you search for IBM PowerPC and what all categories did I not select? That here. Did I open that one? That is a little bit. Slightly wonder what is with those colors there. Why do they? Whatever. I think I'll look at this later. Yeah, so that something like that should exactly be what. Is that the thumbnail of this video? It's crazy that people want. Why do they freaking want €250 for this? You get a whole freaking RISC processor. It sounds like pretty much. I need to check my own video or something. Anyway, funny stuff. So yeah, they still have boards in stock, but I have too much in other videos that I don't want more stuff, and then yeah, look at these prices. You know what? I really dual CPU. Yeah, okay, but board only. Freaking kidding me? Four core CPU. Yeah, with these prices, no, thank you very much. That is I'm too cheap for that. What is here? Smart One Tools. No, thank you very much. Cannot allocate an abstract type. Okay, we could simply, if we want an error-free build, we could simply, I mean, either we have two cheap options. I mean, we could always patch this stuff to somehow build with the old version of GCC, or the much cheaper and simpler version, of course, disabling that for AVR32. What do we do with Mesa? So do we knife that? That is nice. That is nice, okay. Yeah, I guess we debug that for real. That was PowerPC64. I basically only wanted to check if I can freaking afford it. I think the first LE Little Indian like full system supported were Power 8, maybe Power 9, something like that. I only checked that because I was curious, wanted to try the system call maybe on the G5 or PS3 cell. G4 Cube, you probably want to share, like, subscribe and Patreon and fund me and stuff for exotic tests and videos like that. Yeah, what do we do with these versions? I mean, if I try previous versions, that is some, I mean, it takes some minutes. Is it worth those minutes? I really wonder what's going on with this PowerPC. I'm pretty sure that built before. That is so crazy. So what did we update since then? Bin utils we downdated. Wait, here was the other. Yeah, that was a long time ago. Did we update GCC? Is this... I could simply log GCC. Maybe we should do that. What did I say? Update. But it's really crazy how fragile this stuff is. This is what I regularly mean software quality engineering. In my opinion, after decades of research and stuff, this stuff about TESS is also a long time ago. 11.2.0 is there? Is it? Why does it? What does it build then? Break then? I mean, we build more GCC now. Is there not a maintenance update? Like bug fixes and stuff. 11.2, do they have 11? No. Thank you very much. Oh, wait a second, why do they have 11.1? Yeah, thank you very much. Why did they touch that? Oh, wait a second. Oh, this was last year. So yeah, do they apparently not have... it's also already quite a while. I mean, they have GCC 12 in the making. It's, by the way, crazy that GCC.org is some bloody church. Last time I tried, that is so crazy. Grace Community Church. Well, now that happened, you would have thought the Free Software Foundation registered that early, but some church was earlier. Maybe they thought GNU is enough. What do we have here? Not so much. Yeah, this is always crazy. This is the only reason why I majorly consider auto building weekly, just to have an overview when stuff breaks, because this is so time consuming now. Built in BeatSwap. Oh, thank you very much. I think I added that recently, maybe, probably, potentially. This could of course be fixed more or less easily, but I need more shell exit grep for that. Let's maybe analyze and let's see what's going on there. That is probably not easy. I really hate to debug that though. So LD, so what we would need is like more verbose malformed archive. But it looked okay, that is a crazy thing. Thin archive with, does it not like thin archive? These are all thin archives though. Why would it say malformed archive? The question is GCC generating something broken? By the way, do we build with LTO? I think we tried LTO though. We have currently LTO removed. Why, by the way? Thought I added that yesterday. Yeah, probably we added that, and yeah, we added that and that wasn't helpful. Let's do that again. It's probably it's the same because it failed before. I mean, we could try if it goes away with other optimizations. That is of course also only a workaround. But yeah, diagnostics, right? I said this before, recurring theme here. Why does this, and this is not like some hobby program, right? Of someone writing stuff. And I'm aware that I'm like a negative messenger here of like, this sucks, that's imperfect, that is not amazing. But after 30 plus years, after 50 or so years of digital computer science stuff, why is this stuff not like top-notch, like 1000% totally amazing? But one answer is of course C, and the other answer is nobody pays for this stuff and it's all free. Yeah, free open source, so YOLO. But it's also it's two major things beside free and nobody pays for that, except you watching this YouTube video. It is of course C. The answer to most things is C, and the other is this engineering of let's constantly change everything, right? And add features and the usual stuff of, and testing, right? Actually, it's more, it's like three major things. C, constantly changing this stuff instead of eventually perfecting it, and not enough testing. So yeah, that, oh wait a second, this, don't tell me this arrows differently. No, this is also error adding symbols malformed archive. What is a thin archive though? I know thin LTO. What is a thin archive? What is that? Does they have a thin archive? Only contains a symbol table and reference to the file. Interesting. Didn't even know that. Is that new? The version of R elf-utils have an additional thin archive format. Magic number thin. Thin archive only contains symbol table and references to the file. File format essentially a system file format archive, where every file is stored without the data section. Every file stores as a long file name, and they are to be resolved as they were symbolic links. Interesting. Maybe we should try. I slightly wonder: does it exist for long, or is it new? I mean, we can optionally create a thin archive which contains. I slightly wonder if we either avoid that. Where is the option for that? Thin can be normal. Also flatten, so that adding one thin archive to another thin archive does not nest it. Add an index to the archive or update if it already exists. T, make the specified archive a thin archive if it already exists in regular archive. I mean, maybe we try T. Not T. Linux. Yeah, that is crazy. I think that previously, obviously, how good is... I built AVR32 kernel not too long ago, but how good is the release without a freaking kernel? So, capital T it was. I only wonder if Meson... Actually, maybe it is a Mesa update. Actually, maybe that makes the most sense, because everything else built and wasn't changed that much. Maybe some Mesa update broke that, or actually Ninja. Modern stuff, right? 2022. Okay, we don't see... thank you very much, linking static target. We don't see that because... Can we simply rerun that like that? Probably not. What is also annoying with this build system is that each time you need to check which option here is verbose. What was verbose for Ninja? Nah. Okay, maybe that. Yeah. One thing still not out, one thing still not error. Welcome, Aaron. We're just building a freaking Linux distribution for 24 of architectures, because that's what normal people do on a weekend. Maybe we make a fancy poly live on this channel. Not that we would care too much. Why is this? Wait, why? Why is this not hanging? Could be that this is QEMU and the shell control set handling is messed up. That wait, what implicit fall through? What is going on here? Oops, wrong. Ah, shit! Now I killed the wrong build. Ah, darn. Always too fast here on this channel. How is that so strangely stuck? No, that works. Strange stuff. Whatever I had done before. So area there is a capital T. That is thin. I would think it probably should work without thin. We don't have an AR wrapper, maybe. How do they? Link arcs. Build Ninja. Let's maybe. I think I patch this. Usually we. What? Thank you very much. Probably comes from Messenger. What do we build with Mason? Thin archives. I mean, I'm only randomly guessing here. Supports an archive static layers that are not installed. Cannot create thin archives. How to disable that? Thank you very much. Here's something. Cannot create thin archives doing cross-compile building. SDK static library is something adding. Let's move on with that AR. Maybe that. Yeah, it's still too much. Where would that be? Linker? Meson build linker Python. Yeah, there's all the plethora of build systems. Yeah, isn't it fun debugging domain-specific build system languages? So maybe it is, I mean, okay, this isn't still not definite proof of anything. Here is link arcs, here is RDT. Okay, link arcs. I mean, we could actually, for a test, probably substitute it now. Maybe it makes the most sense before I spend too much more time. Actually, could we override that in this cross-ini, maybe? '89 occurrences. Could simply build that? No, thank you very much. Substitute. Let's see what happens. It only cleans this not to run out of temp if I space again. So this, wait a second, does this again not? Ah, you know what? Maybe, you know what? Maybe this is this stupid, this is this bloody, so this log sucks, this modern stuff. Have you seen, it's like, the log looks so shitty because it's constantly using not new line return, carriage return for this bloody pseudo nice looking stuff here. 313, 312, it's like still doing something. So apparently there is a bug in some way, shape or form. Let's see if it finishes linking. I mean, we could actually, you know what, we could hotfix it. I'm getting a little bit tired of random shit. We could simply SED that in Mesa. Everything else builds as intended. Maybe actually, because otherwise we would forget about that. Maybe it would make sense if we create some kind of marking. And welcome everyone. I think it links. It's the last two files. So yeah, it looks like they're, so I guess there is also there can never be enough bugs in BitUtils, right? This is so crazy. PowerPC64LE broken, and in the previous version was some stuff also broken because now it says that here though. That is a little bit that is not ideal. This says don't install random kernel modules in Debian for sensors. No in Windows to get a live USB. What you're meaning that broke your Debian? Not running Debian though, for good reason. Jeez. So yeah, let's remove that because, and what I meant, let's see also if this builds actually, because it installed that wrongly. And what I mean with, or what I wanted to say, it's maybe here somewhere. Here's some architecture quirks. Increasing architecture quirks. It's wait a second. Theoretically, you know what? We could actually, for the most. Wait a second. What did I want to do? For the most extreme, most specific hotfix here and quirk, let's wire that to that specific PowerPC little onion. So that big onion, apparently maybe it works on a first glance. Also, it's crazy, right? 32-bit big onion, 60. Actually, we don't build it for 60. We only, for performance reason, default to 32-bit. Anyway, yeah, other PowerPC stuff builds in all other architectures, but for PowerPC64LE it is broken. So config PowerPC64LE, and yeah, you need to be a little bit creative, and of course 20 years of experience. Otherwise you could spend, I mean, of course, if you wanted to really fix it in BitUtils, which of course I'm not crazy enough to do, you could spend your whole weekend fixing that. So if that is one only for that very specific case, SD PowerPC64, then in the middle of the build, then hook, actually let's new line hook at inmake 5 SED this should be course object dear. It's also, I prefer that actually in the beginning this was just SED I means let's see if it like that. That's fine. Let's see if it builds. Welcome, Dr. Shepard. Ironically, PowerPC64 is the major PowerPC architecture for Linux now. Yeah, it's so crazy, right? It's also ironic. I mean, yesterday we looked this up. There is even a bug filled or so maybe. And then also, I mean, I could fix that, right? If I really wanted to, but I have already too much to do. I don't want to spend my Easter weekend implementing also in freaking C code, right? I rather finally continue with my microkernel. And basically, I don't even like want to use GNU bin utils or, God forbid, LVM client because everything is too huge, right? To debug, to stuff. I really want like ideally 1% as large stuff. I mean, 1% previously I said 10% as large was 90% of the problem. I mean, maybe 10% is more reasonable, but as extremely humongous that is, 1% doesn't even sound too crazy. I mean, if the sources are hundreds of megabytes, then 1 megabyte source is already... Yeah, let's see if that builds. Hotfix 101. So what I wanted to say is, I somehow often get distracted with getting this work done. Maybe we should mark this hotfixes, like if it's really crazy hotfixes like this one. No, so thank you very much. Maybe that didn't do what it wanted to do. Let's maybe... Yeah, maybe there should be like, maybe we should like mark this like hotfix stuff so that there is a red warning scrolling by that people are reminded to remove that maybe. Because otherwise if we add this now, it might be... Okay, this did not yet work as intended. Maybe this inmake, this was Mason, right? So maybe there's a hook missing. No, there is in... right, because we have pre-make. Where do we have something crossfall, pre-make running Mason, in-make running Ninja. What did I use? Did I not use in-make? Mason? What the heck do I even do? I used in-make, hook at in-make. What did I do wrong here? Hook at in-make, SED, this stuff. Looks right on a first glance. Somehow Ninja. Yeah, but and welcome everyone, as Dr. Schubert says, it's ironic that that is actually a major supported, major support architecture, and even that breaks upstream, right? Because who cares? And testing. Should we not see this code fragment? This isn't 1, this is Y, this is LE. Outsmarted myself. This is probably LE because we directly use it for some... this is NDNS, this is also Y. Yeah, we probably supply this directly to some variables, which is why we have this. We have this something similar for MIPS. We probably combine this with the Arch triplet and GCC options, which is why it is like that. What is the building? I only wonder, I guess that must be a fluke in some way, shape or form that it tried to install this outside of the system root, because for other architectures it built. maybe, you know, I add this to the to-do. I mean, this is a crazy thing, right? I could work 24/7. There is like so much, despite hundreds of thousand developers all around the world and 1,897 or so Linux distributions. There is so much broken and imperfect and quirky and regression that I could basically work 24/7, 365 days a year here, and fix stuff, right? Nice red hotfix indicator for gross hacks like PowerPC64 LE Mesa Sin. But this takes 30 minutes to implement, and I don't do this today, so welcome everyone. This did still not work. Did this install wrong? Or did this not link? No, this still doesn't work. Did I not save this? I just edited this. Did I? What did I do? What if did I press the wrong button? Darn it. Wrong key. What a waste of time. Only live here on this channel. 3 times the build charm. People ask what keyboard. Previous video. I have a video about converters. So this is the Sun keyboard. It's not even my favorite keyboard. It just also it's Sun with a Type 5, I think, right? Is it Type 5? Type 6? Type 6. Previous video, I actually mostly, ironically, I also built the converter, the Sun serial to USB. I did this because I wanted to use this 10 Sun extra keys, like stop to cut, undo, redo and stuff. For OBS theme selection, I used it previously. Now with, ironically, with Wayland, my extra keys don't work anymore. So yeah, it's not the most amazing keyboard. It's also freaking membrane, and it is crazy. You would really think maybe all of those Sun keyboards are not. Leave in the comments. Maybe the first Sun keyboards were good, but it's crazy that at least in this mass-produced high-quantity things, it's membrane keyboard, and that's a little bit shabby for high-end Unix workstations, to be honest. Although maybe, I mean, it's not even. It has quite some. It's flex and stuff, right? Even when new. Maybe membrane. The only argument is the office should be quiet, but I don't know. It feels pretty freaking cheap for a AAA quality Unix workstation thing. More questions. Methodology, how you're finding what you're finding in the kernel. This is not kernel, right? This is okay. This builds also no. Most of the stuff is not kernel. Most of the stuff is user space, and then the methodology is usually like look at the details, and debug it for real, not like random googling. We Google here very little, only to sometimes see if other people have the same issue, or like if it's crazily bizarre, stupid, to save some time. Often we don't find answers anyway. And yeah, I mean, the real thing would be to look into the sources, and unfortunately, because the linker probably doesn't have more verbose stuff, debugging that for real would take an hour or two if you're good. And I don't have the hour, so that YOLOing that in 15 minutes. This is just experience, following my experience and of what I've seen in 20 years, and like trying the quickest low-hanging fruits, because it's quicker and faster. And I also have no intention. I fixed so much in 20 years. I'm done with fixing people's major bugs for free, and making Oracle and Google and IBM richer and stuff. So I only hotfix stuff for the most part. Yeah, because to fix it real, you would need to debug now into bin utils, add there some printfs or so, touch a debugger and see what's going on. I'm not doing. You want to share, like, and subscribe though, because we will soon continue implementing our own stuff in a saner language than C for our own microkernel and stuff from scratch. I started already in assembler for RISC-V because I'm sick and tired of this C-based crappy software that randomly fails and breaks and has regressions. It's, yeah. Can we, so we currently, actually, you know what? I mean, yeah, if we add one hotfix, I leave it on the to-do. We do this another day. Yeah, because where to start with, right? If I, maybe I should add, being professional, add here somewhere. What do we have? Okay, this clearly is atomic, and do we have more of this? No. We can. Thin archives somehow. It's crazy, but that's what it is. Corrupted thin archives. Maybe a way, maybe a really good way, and that is what too few people do. I mean, too few people constantly fix as much stuff as we do here. But also, a lot of software is growing hotfixes, growing accumulation of bugs and quirks and features. Maybe I added to make an output of, hey, this is compiling with some crazy hotfix, maybe tests if it's still needed. Maybe the really best thing is, because even the message, I mean, so the problem is with this, even I will forget about that in a month, or hopefully tomorrow, and then I will never check it again, right? Or like never until like maybe next year live on YouTube here on this channel. Maybe the best thing would be maybe a message, but maybe more importantly, maybe a wire that to some version of probably bin utils, I would say, or so that it automatically isn't used. Maybe that would be the best thing, so people notice, because even I, obviously talking here, even if I wouldn't talk, if I would do no other productive stuff instead of talking to you, I wouldn't even see this message, right? So a red message of, hey, this is compiling with a gross hack, you probably want to check eventually that that is not needed anymore. Maybe a good way would be an automated mechanism to lock that on the version, so that it even is not used. Like if we update bin utils in some months, like the summer, that like some conditional of auto or like gross hack something in like bin utils 4 point whatever 238 or what we had, and then here's a code or something of continued code of hook at something, and the build system. So this would output actually, we would need here some text though, like maybe description here of broken thin archives or whatever. And so this construct, something like that, actually maybe I save that here. Actually maybe like not gross hack, but either like alert hack or hack alert, maybe something like that. and that it also automatically would not be used if the version is different. So if we update bin utils like the summer, that instead of printing, so as long as the version is that version, print out as a warning, as a reminder, and if the version is different, not use it, and also print this out, so that the next time we build this, like forcing ourselves or the next best person, probably unfortunately ourselves, to check that in the future with the next freaking bin utils update, probably. I think that you get the theme right. Also with our data bot, automation and more testing, and this stuff needs to be more automated, because for the most things it isn't. And T2, we try to create here, assemble and curate the best collection of build recipes and cross-compiling patch set and automation, and that probably is the next best step, except our microkernel obviously, and all new software, because where did I have this here of like something like that here, right? But leave it as usual, just some brainstorming, and it doesn't mean I implement this today. Always good to give it at least a day or week of brainstorming and chat and design with friends and colleagues and stuff. So some travel, what you're saying, you got some travel keyboard too, didn't you? Mechanical keyboard. You mean this Tech? Do I have it? I don't have it with me. I left it in front. Tech Yoda 2 previous video. I mean, yeah, this travel keyboard it's a little bit too expensive to travel. It's like $200 plus. So plus the switches, and it has this track point, right? It's ironically it's so expensive. I don't even use it the most, and it's 60%. So. It's a nice keyboard. I mean, the trackpad, you probably meant that one. I made a couple of videos, including first when I accidentally discovered that of Lenovo reselling that, and then actually then finding that it's actually not Lenovo but Tech Yoda 2, and then assembling, like, build live stream some hours of that. But yeah, I have to say I don't like, this is 60%, right? I don't like, I press too many special characters for my super fast typing, so I got a little bit used to it, but I think like the 70-ish% with arrow keys and page up, page down, and yeah, so I basically think some 70-something% is better for me. Although it is a really beautiful thing, but I am typing too much to be super efficient for me, probably, I guess. But it's super nice, but it's a little bit expensive, obviously, for what it is, and it's a little bit expensive for that. It's not the very most useful keyboard for me, but yeah. Stian asks you, not on the Mac? No, right now I'm on the native, on the Linux. I'm back in the office, and this is that is my Ryzen workstation. I'm on Linux right now. That is the overkill build. But yeah, 2022, you don't even realize when so that is the most overkill PC thing I ever built thing. Could get more views though. Maybe I should link it. Here's that though. Probably needs more views, yeah. Wayland copy and paste. You know I'm on Wayland when copy and paste doesn't work on the first time, because you have the desktop Linux. I upgraded obviously to a 5950X since then. Initially built that already 2 freaking years ago. Time is running. Obviously plugged in another motherboard and Ryzen since then. Noko Doku asks, you have bad experience with C. It's not bad experience, right? I would call, I mean, not that I want to after 20 years, I would call myself a Jedi Master of C. I now see more inside out than most people. I would say there are only few people who know C more inside out than I, and that would be like those hundreds of hardcore C operating system developers. And it's not bad experience, right? I just know how bad C is, right? And I have seen it all, right? I do Linux distribution for 20 years with previously Rock Linux and now continuation that is T2, and packaging 4,000 packages for 20 years. I have seen everything. And I mean, not only that C is already bad enough, I have seen the worst use of C ever in all those open source packages. And that's just fact that C is not a good language. Yeah, I mean, even as imperfect C++ is, even C++ was better. I mean, it has plus in the name, right? As much as it triggers people, but honestly, C++ was a better C for 20 years already. I'm not saying that C++ is amazing today. I wish I could fall in love with Rust more than I do, but also Rust is not amazing, unfortunately. And yeah. Unfortunately, right now, I don't have a recommendation for the most perfect language. We use this improved C, that is C++, for things at our company. And we also use Lua. Lua is, of course, not comparable to C, but nonetheless a pretty fine language. I have suggestions for improvements for all of them. I should look more into Zig, though. But yeah, for this, I'm actually wondering whether for my new microkernel stuff, which of course we will not write in C because I'm not crazy and insane. I'm still wondering if I should use lightweight C++ for the most compatibility with other stuff. And for my own soon assembler and bin binary utils and compiler stuff, I will not implement C because C is such an insanely bad language that I will not implement C. But I'm wondering if I should implement a somewhat like a saner, cleaner subset of, not really subset, like subset with improvements of C. Maybe we call it B just to trigger people. And yes, I'm aware there was a B language that was barely used, and yeah, but maybe we call it B anyway, just because. And I would not write a microkernel in this B, like this simplified and less insane variant of C that I could call B just to trigger people. And I will still not write my microkernel in it, just to have something of being somewhat able to compile sane C code or port and convert somewhat sane C code to my own binary utils and assembler stuff. We will see. I've not decided yet. Either I only implement some saner language, like maybe some combination of C++ and Rust. Maybe I implement a lightweight version of C that is not as stupidly insane as C is. I should check out Zig more. Maybe I should write a toy project in Zig though, just to get more experience with it, to can better comment on that. Yeah, but we always digress. So, but at least we're compiling some stuff. What other? So we fixed well, the thing is I had to look into this PowerPC64 stuff today is because I really want to release this stuff now. We probably also I fixed yesterday at night or so. I work around the SPARC64 as well because glibc is broken there. I also overlaid the glibc version for SPARC64 because I'm not going to debug why SPARC64 segmentation faults on SPARC64 again. Did I say glibc segmentation faults on SPARC64 again? I think I said this. Somehow SPARC64 constantly breaks. For 20 years, SPARC64 is the architecture that constantly breaks. Each time I build a new version of 20 years ago Rock Linux or nowadays T2, each time I rebuild this with a major update, SPARC64 is broken. And now PowerPC64. It is crazy. It is crazy how stuff can constantly be so broken. It is hilarious. So I just downloaded glibc. Works for now. If you want that I debug why the new version segmentation faults and fix it properly, share, like, and subscribe. Patreon, GoFundMe, GitHub sponsorship, or OnlyFans, whatever you like the most, because man does this stuff. It's a freaking, yeah, maintaining open source stuff, super massive black hole that eats your time like nothing. Let's take one last look. I probably have also spent 5 minutes of extra time to maybe mark all the packages. Either maybe I try maybe tonight with wine at home or stuff. Also, yeah, open source, super massive black hole, and you get alcoholic from this stuff. If you each time you fix something at night, you drink a wine after a while. Anyway, I probably spent the extra minute or two to try a previous version of stuff that currently fails with AVR32, like previous version of rsync and previous version of sys stats stuff. And like if a previous version from last year doesn't build, then like market not like currently not supporting AVR32. So build all the stuff already. Logs. We are mostly there. I think we finally will release this. What is this? ARM. Also, I think we messed the terminal up with something. What is that? EFIVA. I think that probably builds now, right? We have fixed this yesterday. Probably should have first. Yeah, Firefox. And I also, that is so crazy, right? Nearly every day live on this channel here, and still stuff is broken. This triggers and really bothers me. It is crazy. Yeah, of course, this builds now for ARM. Let's see, what else do we have here? ARM 64. Yeah, that of course also builds. 64 there. Fix this. And then we will mostly see Firefox, WebKit GTK, and for WebKit GTK maybe we either downdate or try to fix for a minute. So this Firefox, and right, Musel. Yeah, that is so many. Too many build errors. Probably more than 1 hour. That's it for this day. I need to go home and have lunch, play with the family. Give Junior the Easter present that just arrived here to the office. And I hope you learned something, and it would be amazing if you support this super massive black hole efforts of fixing everything and getting everything built. How many build combinations are this? It previously have been 24. How many do we have now? 26. Is this 26 now? Maybe this, yeah. I mean, some are like, it's not CPU architectures, ours is also -1. So this is 25. And yeah, I'm not sure if we can. Yeah, this Musel stuff is, yeah, we will see. Anyway, thanks for watching, subscribing, and see you next time for all this fun stuff to continue and hopefully eventually ship a release and be less broken.